Hey everyone, this is Villains Man, JVD Justin Von Doon.
I'm Evan the Great.
This is our weekly coverage for on our YouTube channel, Angles and Promos, and we've got some news. We're going to start a Twitter feed just for wrestling for this called Angles and Promos. Evan the Great's going to take some responsibility there and do that one himself for. I'm running the Villains Man on Twitter. So Mondays and Tuesdays, hopefully you got a lot of action coming from us.
Yes, the more the merrier.
On this episode, we're going to cover 205 Live from April 11th and NXT from 2012. Son of a bitch. From April 12th.
Ain't that when NXT started?
It's when it is what it is now. So, I'm not really wrong. So, our first episode, I had to make a prediction on who the next NXT champ was going to be. You said Roderick Strong. I said Cassius Ohno, which I'm still wondering if the WWE realized they now have KO for two guys. I should tweet that today. Especially Triple H. Maybe he just hasn't realized that yet. So, but unexpectedly, to me at least, we knew Drew McIntyre, Drew Gallows had showed up at NXT TakeOver. I didn't expect him to show up this. So, that's a week and a half, and then he's already on having a match. So, do you think does that shake up your prediction for the next NXT champion?
No.
So you're still going to go with it?
I love Roderick Strong. He ain't as big as Drew McIntyre, but I think he can be, and I think they know that now.
Yes. Especially after that match.
We'll talk about NXT, but after next week they're having their cage match, and after that, Sanity will be freed up, and I feel that Eric Young and Roderick Strong is going to start a feud. I just feel that.
Yeah, he'd be the last guy, because no way Jose on that. No way. In our last episode, we kind of made some predictions on who we thought would hold all the WWE titles by the end of the year. We also covered the Cruiserweight title, which you had said Jack Gallagher. I picked your boy Mustafa Ali at the end of 2017. So, let's cover that with NXT real quick. He's going to be the NXT champ at the end of the year. Now, before we get this, I want to remind you and everyone else, the NXT title has changed at house shows before. They did that with Joe and Finn. And it was completely unexpected, and the WWE recorded it, and it was a special on the network, which is good. That's good for fans. That's something you don't see every day. I remember when we went to Raw and Cody and Goldust beat the Shield for tag title. Man, was that not fucking awesome? And man, people were eating it up, and it's good. On Raw and SmackDown, when you get a title change. But man, when you get one at a house show, that's pretty fun. So, my question to you is who is going to hold the NXT title at the end of 2017? Now, we'll probably have 2 more takeovers from April till December. You'll have one for SummerSlam.
I think they have 4 a year.
Yeah, well, we've already had 2. We've had Rumbles, Manias. So you got SummerSlam, and you've got Survivor Series, and it's notorious that usually whoever's champion for one is pretty much going to be champion on the next one, and our current champion is Robert Roode. Glorious. So, make me a prediction. NXT title. Who's holding it at the end of the year?
Aleister Black.
You think that fast?
Yes. After what we've seen on NXT this Wednesday, it is, and he has a badass entrance. He has badass music. Maybe it's just my taste, but I absolutely love this guy.
I do too.
And the way it looks like they're going to build him up, starting with this nobodies, and then just have him slaughtered on until he gets better and better and better. And it's just, that's what I think they're going to do.
Man, I'd like to agree with that, but I think they're going to wait.
I don't know if the fans are going to let them wait.
I know, man, especially when we get into that match. Because here's the thing, it's almost like when big names come to NXT, it's like, well, we owe you the titles. And, technically Robert Strong was there, Roderick, my bad. Was before all of them. So you would think that, like, him or Eric Young would be the next fit. And I said Cassius Ohno. He would be the next guy. And I want to say Cassius Ohno, but man, now that Alistair, I keep want to call him Tommy End. He's their man. It's really hard not to pick him. But now you've got Drew McIntyre.
To me, I like them both, but I'm telling you, Aleister Black, dude, he has a badass entrance. He can wrestle. He can do everything in the ring. The only thing they really don't do, they didn't give him a mic yet. So I don't.
He don't need a mic. His actions speak louder than words.
And he has so many moves that nobody else does.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, if you're very new to Aleister Black, aka Tommy End, man, check him out on YouTube. He's got this beautiful cutter into a dragon sleeper, and I really don't think they'll let him use it because of Randy Orton. But man, it's very cool to see. He's got a lot of good movesets, and the thing is, you really haven't seen anything yet.
No.
And the thing is, how much of it the WWE gonna let him use? Because moves are protected in the WWE, and you've already got all these guys that's been there, and he's a new guy, so I'm very curious what you're gonna see out of him. But I'm gonna go Drew McIntyre, and I'm gonna tell you what, I can't wait for them two to fight each other.
It's gonna be bad.
Man, is it gonna be badass. So, Asuka, current women's champion on NXT.
Oh yeah.
She got it at the end of the year, or you think she's gone? Which I picked her to be SmackDown women's champion because they need it.
I don't want her to leave, but she has to.
So you're gonna tell me it's Peyton Royce?
It's gonna be Peyton Royce, baby. I love Nikki Cross, but Peyton Royce, man, something about her, man. I look. She looks good, and she can wrestle. She looks like somebody who don't look like they can wrestle, and she actually can.
I'm gonna go with Ember Moon.
I do. I love my Ember Moon.
I'm not big on Ember Moon.
I love too many people on NXT that are girls.
Man, the only thing I think that why people like her, she has a pretty badass finisher.
She has a bad finisher. She has a lot of energy. She can fly around that ring a lot quicker than what you think her little legs can move. But she
ain't got little legs, man. She's built like a Hardsburger. She is. So
I think that's why I like her so much. She's surprisingly athletic. Well, yeah. She's thick and she's surprisingly more athletic than what you think in the ring.
All right. This is the one I think we're really gonna have to think about. The NXT Tag Champions. Currently, AOP, Authors of Pain. Which, man, those guys get over the titles for like 5 years. I don't think anybody's replayed because it's been a long time you've had a tag team that's been that dominant, and not just dominant like the New Day, like, hey, we hold the tag team title record. No, like. These are two men the size of fucking dinosaurs.
Yes, they're big.
Beating the snot out of everybody. They beat the greatest team in NXT, the Revival. I mean,
they're big, they're fast, they're tough, they're mean.
They don't speak English.
They don't, and they have a manager.
Yeah,
a manager.
They have.
People need managers.
Yeah, I mean, Andre's a guy that knows tag team wrestling.
They are so impressive, and some of these new tag teams they're bringing in, I think they're going to feud with, but. They got Heavy Machinery coming in, and then tonight they had, I don't know who that guy was. What was his name? That big old dude?
That was Dylan Miley.
That dude is massive. I have to see where he came from, or if he's just somebody they've been working with down in Florida.
I think he's been around. He's probably do.
But like Von Doom kind of said it earlier, it's his ideal. I kind of said it, but then he put them together. I said he should join Insanity. He's like, no, he should tag with Beast of Belfast.
No, fight. Beast of Belfast.
Or fight.
Yes, because I think that'd be interesting. Two massive
fight or tag. But as a tag division, man, I don't know.
Because really they don't have anybody.
LP don't lose them belts. They keep them all year. At the end of the year, they'll have them. They will lose them at WrestleMania weekend.
Go with Sanity.
Yeah.
I think they've got the tag titles coming into the year.
Well, they might be. I mean, they'll have them. They'll lose them. They'll win them at NXT WrestleMania weekend.
Do you think they will? I think they'll take it before that. I think.
I really don't know how. I mean, they could cheat. They could do whatever they want. But there was two badass tag teams in there, and they could not beat the Acolytes.
I know, but here's the thing. For one, Sanity, you can do Freebird rule. Well, some kind
you could.
Yeah, you could. And I mean, that gives them options for tagging. And you've got Nikki Cross running around.
Yeah, they can do a lot of distraction.
So, I mean, I think that gives them an upper hand, and I think they're going to win the tag.
The bad thing is, with their NXT tag division, is why in the hell do they keep DIY down there? because they've already won them twice. You keep them down there.
Once. I think it was once.
I thought they won them twice.
I thought they won them once.
They might. Anyway, but I think they've been down there too long, and maybe they'll split them. But I kind of wish they would have brought them to SmackDown.
I did, yeah.
I 100% thought they was going to SmackDown.
I think I even said they were going
and maybe they will go to SmackDown after maybe the next takeover. I don't know. Because they need it. They need to go there, but maybe they don't want them to steal some of the thunder some of the guys are going to try to push.
Well, and they were also...
If you split them, they're going to the Cruiserweight. They're going to 205.
I think when they split them, it's a rivalry. Because in the Cruiserweight Classic 2016, they had that phenomenal match.
So maybe if you split them and you put them on 205, then that'd be who takes over for A-Double and Double.
I just think Cruiserweights need to have tag titles.
They had a tag division.
And they
that would be awesome.
So, speaking of, you've got all these big top guys coming into NXT. It's almost like time they need a new title. They need another title.
Yeah, because all they had was the tag belts, the women's belt, and the championship belt.
I mean, like I said, okay, you look at your top guys. You got Rude, which we've already said first. So Rude's coming up.
You know what's funny? We was talking about who had all the belts and everything. Well, Rude goes to one of them organizations, Raw or SmackDown. What are you gonna do? Because he's gonna have the belt.
So yeah, okay. So let's just say he's gone.
Yeah.
Roderick Strong, Katsuyori Sono, Aleister Black. You've got Eric Young. Now you got Drew McIntyre. You got a lot of top guys there. And even with a new title, I've always wanted a television title. It's the only thing WWE's not had, and I think you need to do something like that because basically that's kind of what NXT is. It's television. They don't, these takeovers aren't everywhere, and if you even want to say you want to keep DIY together, but okay, well, Johnny Wrestling goes to the Cruiserweight title and Tommaso Ciampa stays on NXT. So you can still keep them together, but they're like, well, let's make names somewhere else and bring more attention to ourselves. And he could even be a singles guy.
Yeah.
Man, Ring of Honor, he killed it as television champion. Him and Jay Lethal, when Jay Lethal took from him, they had a great match.
Yeah.
So, I think at the time right now, I think they should start promoting a new title. I think by the end of the year, they're actually going to be a 2-hour show, and they'll probably start making it live.
They have to.
I think they need to because
it's crazy.
Yeah,
they have
after this episode we're going to cover, man, it was really good for a 1-hour episode, and I think they make it 2 hours like SmackDown. I think that's why SmackDown is really good right now. It's not saturated, oversaturated. It's 2 hours.
Yep.
Everybody gets a chance to shine. So since we're on the topic of NXT, let's go ahead and cover NXT first.
Okay.
Okay, so we had this match with DIY, since we're talking about DIY, and no one cared about the other guy. It was all about Dylan Miley.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, you said, look at the fucking size of this guy as soon as he got out there. And man, was he pretty massive. And we were talking, and he was like, man, they're going to do something. This guy said, nah, look at that knee brace. And well, I was wrong. You're right. I thought DIY looked really good.
They did.
Because really they didn't do anything to him when he was in the ring. It was all until goofy guy that Braun Strowman beat up.
God, he's one big dude.
Yeah,
man.
He's a big guy, man. To me, he's built like an old classic wrestler.
Yeah.
Back, you look at like Bruno Sammartino.
Circus Strongman.
Yeah. Perfect. Circus Strongman.
Which is why you should join Insanity.
I know you're big on that, but
he comes out, he's their strongman. Oh,
I just thought about this.
Sorry.
He is NXT's Braun Strowman.
Yep.
And I think that's the best way you let him build up.
Let him run wild.
Let him run wild. And then fight the Beast in Belfast.
Yes.
Oh, I think that'd be great.
Even though I love the Beast of Belfast more, because I don't know who this other guy is. The Beast of Belfast is a bad A.
Well, to me, man, you've almost got like just by looks, you kind of got that classic 80s wrestling match. Big, strong guy, big, heavy set guy.
Yeah.
It's like some bigs. So you've kind of got that, even though he's not running NXT, and I think that could be a really good matchup.
Yep.
Or you get somebody his size, they can fight the authors of pain.
Yeah. That's the bad thing, find somebody who's size. Well, I said Samson, but he's gone.
Yeah, he is gone.
I wish it was, it'd be perfect tab, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, man, boom. They're going to do something with him. I don't know that dude's name with the goofy skunk hair, but he demolished him.
Yeah.
So, next on the list, Drew McIntyre's debut. What do you prefer, McIntyre or Gallows?
McIntyre's got no MF.
Yeah, but I mean...
So I say McIntyre.
But when you say Drew McIntyre, do you associate him as this badass independent wrestler or part of the three-man band? You know, out there gyrating like he's banging his air guitar.
That's what sucks so bad, is he was on that three-man band.
Well,
and then he comes back and he looks like a badass on NXT.
Well, I mean, that was the thing about the Indies. He left and he could be himself.
I think if you change, I don't know, if you call him Gallows, then he kind of gets mixed up. I don't know. I think you stay McIntyre, and then he can be the man that changed himself.
He fought, what's that guy's name? Orny.
I forgot his last name, but he's been all over the place.
Okay, that match got real physical, real fast.
Yeah.
When he was slapping him, good God, I think Drew McIntyre got a little heated. Because you could tell he went to grab him, and he went to kick him, but not like elbowed him. And then he had that really awesome slam against him.
Yeah.
Which was, busted him open.
Yes.
Because I said, that's like, man, I think he's busted open. And then he hit him with this kick. But Drew McIntyre looked really good.
He did.
Like I said, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with him. And that's why I feel at the end of the year, he'll be the NXT champion.
Man, maybe him and Rude have a good match, actually.
I think they really would. But, man, here's the thing. He is huge. His size really showed in this match tonight. I mean, he's probably like a legit 6'7", easily.
They could put him in there with Aleister Black because he's a lot taller than what he looks.
And it'd be a very hard-hitting match. But I mean, I don't think I can express how physical that match was.
Oh, it's super sick.
It was wow. I mean, he was just sitting there, and I was just like, dang, I lose my temper over something like that. But your girls, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. Man, you really love that promo stuff going through the NXT.
I know, they keep doing it.
I mean,
I'm like, man, they would fire them. They can't do that at work.
you get like a giddy girl watching a boy band. You know, you're.
I'm afraid if I being in real life, I'm gonna get arrested.
I mean, you're like 13, and they're like the Backstreet Boys or anything.
Hell yeah.
You get so excited when they're on there. But I think that's good for them because that really makes them good heels. And honestly,
they're good heels.
Two girls in the beginning I never thought would have stood out. Well, they're making quite the name for themselves doing that shit.
Yes.
And I think that's really good for them. I think NXT really needs that because honestly, as much as Asuka's really good, no one has personality but them girls. Really. I mean, you could say Liv Morgan, but man, she's so much like Carmella.
Yeah.
I mean, but she's face Carmella.
If they did have a women's show, Carmella and Liv Morgan could be a tag team.
Yeah, but you've got the good girl and you've got the bitch. So
I know, man. That's how they run.
I mean, and even when they were in the ring together down in NXT, it just didn't mesh well. You'd pick Peyton Royce to hold the title at the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
How soon do you think she's going to win that?
It'll be a while. I mean, she is building up. She had that match with Asuka about a month ago.
Probably a little bit.
Maybe 2 months. They had that little thing where she beat Amber Moon, and then they got a chance to fight.
Well, they had the four-way.
And I thought she was going to beat Asuka, even though I knew Asuka would win. And then, I don't know. And then when they had the four-way at the Rumble, they teamed up and they threw Asuka to that thing, or Nikki Cross to the thing, and they got in the ring. I thought they was going to win.
Yeah, I really did.
So I'm
too.
like, man, you teased it a couple times, and then you let Amber come up, and then you're going to have her fight her. I think if maybe she eventually, I don't know, I don't really want her to beat Asuka, but if Ember did beat Asuka, then maybe Peyton Royce and them will beat her.
So, if either one of them wins the NXT title, do you think they wind up turning on each other?
Yes.
You do? You think because is it?
I don't know, man. Maybe it'd be cool if they don't turn on each other. She helps her win all the time.
It's so kind of like the Village wins.
Yeah, well, no, more like there's always like the guy who is the girl that helps him all the time, like the Miz and Maurice.
So one of them's almost like a manager type role out there.
Billy Kay is.
Yeah, I can see that because I think Peyton Royce is actually the better wrestler. In the beginning, I want to believe that, but man, she's like we said in like first,
awesome.
She's got some really cool moves she's been pulling off here recently.
I feel that the reason they keep doing little shots in the performance center is because she's in there all the time.
Well, yeah, every one of them are in there all the time. The show ended with Shinsuke Nakamura's goodbye to NXT. I think the elevation he got was really well deserved.
Oh yeah.
I think it's very important not only for the WWE, but him to be a Japanese wrestler. And man, you probably haven't had anybody come over and be that big, probably since the Great Muta, maybe. Muta was big in the 90s, and be that popular. And I think that's really good for American wrestling. Because I think you're looking at the first that I know of Japanese WWE heavyweight champion.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
That would kind of be cool. While we're on the Nakamura, leaving
NXT.
It would be cool in the future because NXT's getting big. After they put maybe 4 or 5 more years, if they started doing an NXT reunion pay-per-view, where they bring all their past champions and they have like single matches on one.
So kind of like ECW One Night Only.
Yes.
I think you would probably have the greatest pay-per-view ever.
If they did that, it would be amazing. You have to be it's only NXT champions.
And people probably love both.
Think of all the one you would have, man.
Well, yeah, okay.
Where's he at right now? Bo Dallas.
Jobbing on Raw.
I was wondering, man, because
he needs to join Bray Wyatt.
Maybe you will.
Because he can get down on his knees and he'd be like, "Believe."
That'd be cool. But anyway. But that'd be cool if they had a reunion show.
Well, yeah, because, Bray Wyatt would be there. You got Neville, Bo, Seth Rollins, let's see.
Finn Balor,
Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Big E Langston. I mean, there are a lot of people you'd have. That would be a 7-hour WrestleMania show I'd watch.
Yep.
It would.
WWE, take my deal, I paid.
And then they topped it off. Everybody come out to the ramp. Gave him a ovation, and then Finn Balor shows up, surprises him.
It was great.
That was great. Because them two guys are tight.
I think. Everybody knows the reason Nakamura is over here is because of Finn.
I think that's a little of Finn and AJ. I think it's both of them.
I think they both said, "Please come over here."
And you got Gallows and Anderson, who knows him really well. And I think that's good because I don't remember the 2 guys that they just signed in NXT from Japan, but there's 2 more guys coming over, and I think that's really good because Tozawa is over in 205 Live, and he's showed up on NXT before 205 got real big because he was in the Cruiserweight division. So there's another guy.
He's one of the biggest stars on 205 right now.
Yeah. So say the other guys that coming over, I don't remember who they are. But if they get as big as Shinsuke, which I kind of got, and they probably will.
I'll have to check these guys out because I don't know who they are.
I don't remember who it was, not off the top of my head. I should probably look into it before we started today.
Next episode.
Do you think with his success, because he's going to have huge success, easily, he's going to go just the wayside of AJ Styles. He'll have the title at the end of the year. I really believe he will.
If they kind of keep Cena off the airway on SmackDown, Nakamura might become the new Cena before he comes back. That's how popular he is.
He is, and I think you'll see them 2 face off. I really do. But here's the thing. I don't think Cena can take on...
It's funny, we was talking about everybody when we forgot Cena.
Who cares? It's Cena. You know why we forgot about Cena? Because you can't see him.
I don't like Cena that much, but his matches with AJ were badass. I'm thinking, hey.
So, Finn come out, and then that really topped it off, because you could tell he was pretty surprised he was there.
Yeah.
Both these guys are Hall of Famers.
Oh, yeah.
Would they both induct each other?
That'd be cool, yes.
Would it be awesome if it was on the same show?
Yeah.
I mean, say Finn comes out, inducts Nakamura talks, and then he stays there, inducts Finn comes out, talks.
That would be cool.
Imagine all these guys have come in relatively in the same year. Just think, on that Hall of Fame show, Finn, Nakamura, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe.
I don't want to think about all that. I might be dead when they retire.
No.
Well, those guys are older, so.
I believe AJ's the oldest. AJ's probably like 38. He's getting close to 40, and I think Joe's about 2 years. Joe and Nakamura about the same age. But to top off NXT, I got a question. I meant to ask you this on our first show. So Drew McIntyre left the WWE, became Drew Gallows. Man, he's huge over for, I guess now, Impact Wrestling. Man, you oversees like What Culture Pro Wrestling, and he's killing it. Done really good for himself, and probably made more money than what he ever made in the WWE, being on his own in the Indies. You think with the success he's got when he left and come back and going to be the guy he is, that Cody Rhodes will do the same? Because we love Cody Rhodes.
Please, God, do that. Please come back.
And here's the thing, Cody Rhodes is really young, just like Drew McIntyre.
Do you think WWE would let Cody Rhodes come back that quick? Yeah, I think they would.
I think they would.
But
I mean, I don't think they
he didn't really leave on bad terms. But I know there was a big kind of disagreement there. But it sucks because after he left is when they split the brands up.
Well, but here's the thing though. He left over creative because he didn't want to be started.
Yeah, he didn't want to be that.
And think about it, he was in a bad spot just like Drew McIntyre when he left. He was 3-man band.
And now Triple H is kind of running the show, and he's kind of letting people do their own.
Exactly. And
he's like, if you want to do your own, you go to NXT, see if it sells.
And that's
I swear that's what they're doing.
And like in our, when we first started doing this, I was talking about, I think Bobby Roode is the cutoff line. I don't think anybody else goes up because they're going to build NXT up. And they've got guys to do it right now, and I think by the
Cody Rhodes come back and he joined NXT, it'll be amazing.
I think it happens by the end of the year.
No.
Really? I think it does.
Because they got so much going on, I don't know if they want him to actually come back to NXT. If he come back, he'd go to a different show at that point.
No, I think he comes back. I think right now, in his King of King Hearts, Triple H loves this, and I think in his mind, he's like, man, I'll bring back all these guys. And, his shows, to me, NXT's already more popular than Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah,
it is. Now, maybe not SmackDown now after this shakeup, but I think he does come back, and I could see maybe the NXT at like Survivor Series, that takeover. I could see that. I think he's going to come back.
That'd be cool.
I mean, because as much as we want Punk to come back, he's not coming back. But Cody is that one guy that's left that everybody loved, knew he was a good wrestler, just like Drew McIntyre. Left, did great for himself. I mean, think about it, now he's been around the world. He's wrestled all these styles. I mean, he'd come back. If you wanted to bring him up, he's another guy that fights Nakamura. He's been fighting all these Japanese guys. He's doing this. He's doing the Bullet Club thing. He's really big over What Culture. He had a hell of a match against Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Over there. So, I mean, I think he comes back. And sure, you might be wrong. He might not be this year, but I bet he does.
He'll eventually come back.
Because Triple H has let people be themselves down there.
Yeah.
And I think it's perfectly coming. And I don't like calling him Cody. I hate when it's like Cody and Brandy Rhodes. Just so you can get Rhodes in with Cody. He really needs to come back.
And as much as they talked about his dad at Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and speaking of, Goldust's birthday was this week. Man, he's 48, and he's killing it more than most of these young guys.
He still wrestles.
So, kind of get a little break here between 205 Live and NXT. One thing I think about NXT, and like we talked about with Raw and SmackDown, is 32-woman tourney.
Yep.
So, and it's just something I dotted down when they were talking about it during NXT. And it's just a question I wanted to bring up. Who did you get to call that tournament? Last year you had Ronaldo, which, on a side note, sucks that he's gone now.
Man, I'm starting to wonder if he ain't going to come back. I know he said he's done, but I think, man, for some reason I think they're going to go get him back. Because as big as WWE's tied in social media right now, they're blasting them for letting all that shit go down.
Well, I know. Well, there's people being called up for JBL to get fired.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And honestly, as much as I love JBL, let him go. I want Ronaldo back.
Ronaldo is the voice. I thought he was the voice of the future when he came over.
And I keep saying he was the next JR. And I got real excited when JR come back because I'm like, I want them two to call a match.
Yeah.
It'd be like, Mamma Mia, what a slobber knocker, So, and I really wanted that. And now that he's gone, and that upsets me, because him and Daniel Bryan did a great job calling the Cruiserweight Classic.
That was the best commentary ever.
And
I loved it when they called the Cruiserweight.
And now they got Brian Saxton over there. He was the only guy that got called over in the shakeup. But I really think they need him back, and that got me wondering. Let's talk about 32 women's tournament. Who's going to call that?
I really don't know, man.
I mean, you would assume that it'd be women. It makes sense.
I hate to say this, but I could see Brie coming back and calling that since she's retired and she's Dan Bryan's wife.
Well, she's about to pop.
Well, that ain't gonna be for, she's about to pop in like 3 weeks. I think that's what they said.
But still, I mean, she ain't gonna work.
Yeah, you're right. I really don't know, man. You want to, if you want to go legend route, you can maybe bring Lita back to call.
That's what I thought.
But you gotta have somebody else call it. What? Maybe Lita and Trish Stratus. I don't know.
You gotta have a good play-by-play.
Yeah.
And I mean,
does it have to be a woman?
But wasn't that what you would want?
But you kind of want a woman
because this is a woman's tournament.
Yeah.
You want I see where Stephanie McMahon shows up to run this.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
She shows up and she runs it. Man.
But
I would.
My first thought was this week on the Ross Report, Medusa, Alundra Blaze was there.
Yeah.
And she's real uppity, but sometimes she just speaks some stuff that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
And if you watch the episode, you could hear Jim Ross just trying to cut away from that stuff. But that was somebody I had in mind because she's very up-tempo. But I don't think she fits the bill. And Lita was my obvious choice. But the thing is, who do you get to call play-by-play?
I don't know any women announcers that could do a play-by-play.
And it's not the knock woman. It's just something that's very unheard of in mainstream.
Yeah.
Now, even if you look at broadcasted sports women, most of the time it's men calling it.
I already know who it's going to be. And I don't know if it's the best pick, but I feel it. Beth Phoenix. Just went to the Hall of Fame, retired. She's a mother now, and they're like, hey, we don't want you back full time. Can you please come back and do this? And I don't like it, but I think that's what they're going to do.
Well, she's a good wrestler.
Yeah. I just don't know if she knows. I don't know. I don't know if she might be able to do a good job.
Because going through every big female wrestler.
I would love Natalya to do it. But she's an active wrestler.
She's an active wrestler.
You know what's kind of funny? Yeah, she was out there. Never mind. She was out there during the checkup.
So, what about during this, you get active wrestlers to do it? Say someone like Charlotte.
Oh, that'd be great. Because it probably only a week long for real. Or a couple days.
It'd be really interesting. Whoever at the time was the Raw and Women's and SmackDown Women's Champions, call it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Checking out the competition.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing I thought about. I was like, you need women to call that, but who does it though? You get you a heel to downgrade the women, and then you got the face to pick them up like, oh, I'd like to fight her,
Yeah.
I think that'd be really good for that.
That'd be cool.
So, next up on the list, 205 Live. Just off the top of my head, does it seem like every cruiserweight match lasts forever when it's really good, and it doesn't?
Yeah, they're all not near as long.
Yeah, so they're not.
It's only an hour show. Actually, it's 48 minutes.
Yeah. Opening match was Brian Kendrick and Mustafa Ali. I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, man, this match is really good. And I'm like, man, this went on forever. And I checked the time and it was 10-minute match.
Yep.
And
they're so fast.
Well, they just do so much.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy is, man, there's guys on 205 Live that should be mixing up with some of them guys on SmackDown. And just imagine what you could get.
But they're not going to do it since that show's building.
No, not at all. And that's a good thing. And in this opening match, it really shows at the very end. Kendrick and Ali, man, they put on a really good match.
They did.
Really good match. And I'm telling you, man, Ali is the guy that I picked to hold the Cruiserweight title at the end of the year. I think he's going to take it. I think Austin...
Cruiserweight title does bounce around like crazy over there until it got to Neville.
Until it got to Neville, the Neville level. God,
yeah.
That is stupid. And I think it's the only thing that kills him as a heel. But, and I like that. You know, I mentioned that on SmackDown with the U.S. title, with all these big guys in the picture, I'd like to see that with that, and it's competitive.
Yeah.
And there for a while they did that with the Cruiserweight title until, like you said, Neville took it. And I wish they would start that again. And this and the main event kind of really shows you how competitive it is. They put on a good match, but your boy Tozawa at the end.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Because when they shot over there, I was like, what the hell's going on? And I was like, oh my God, he's ringing the bell.
Yeah, and he's got his hat in one hand. Like, he's got, like almost like he's a movie terrorist. Like, he had sunglasses on and a hat, and he's like, it's me! And then he's got the bell in the other, he's got this big smile on his face, you know.
Number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
Man, NXT rivalries. At first, they could not build them.
205.
Yeah, 205.
You're 2 for 2 on shows for that now.
205. But they can't build. At first, they couldn't build them at all, and now I feel they took these generic gimmicks and they turned them into something great.
Well, that was the problem. I mean, you look at the beginning. Brian Kendrick was the only one that really had anything going on, and that just shows you how
he's almost like the coach / wrestler in that division.
He is the top guy in the locker room coaching everybody, and I kind of feel that way.
Damn, I bet he's doing a good job because these guys they're getting over.
Yeah, and then because I would say almost every guy that's on the show constantly now is good. They are. I mean. Ollie's going to have to work on mic skills, which I can't think of any time they've really let him have the mic. Unless it's like a group.
They had the big 4, big WWE pay-per-views, and they let NXT have takeovers Saturday beforehand.
I think it's time for
it's time for 205 Live.
Yeah, just like a 2-hour pay-per-view. I think that'd be really good.
Give him one of those and just let him tear the house down. Because the Cruiserweight Classic tore the house down.
Yeah.
If they let them do that whenever they're wrestling, when they're not on live 205, they can be practicing these matches they're going to have at pay-per-view, and then they'll be extraordinary.
It's a really good idea. Because you still got guys that need to come around, like, you know, we talked about Grand Metalik. Man, I'd really like for him to stick around more time. And when you do something like that, you could incorporate a Cruiserweight tag team title.
Yes.
And I think that would be really good.
They put a tag team title in the Cruiserweight, you can have a real 2-hour pay-per-view.
Okay, speaking of characters and whatnot, in the main event, you had TJ Perkins versus your boy Jack Gallagher.
Yep.
Another really good match. Seemed like it went on forever, but it was like 10 minutes.
Yep.
And it was great. I mean, just like Kendrick and Ali's match, no wasted time whatsoever.
No.
It was really good.
Straight up action.
But before we get to the match, on Raw, TJP and Neville had a little, a talk with Austin Aries. And, basically that TJP didn't have a backbone. And, well, he seemed almost to go heel. Now it seems like he's full heel come 205 Live. Is it fitting?
I think this helps him. Because his little video game gimmick, and he comes out, and he's all...
Okay, let's cut up his video game gimmick. Does anybody like that?
I want to like it so much, but it just does not do it for me.
And here's the thing, like, you always hear stories about the guys backstage and how they are compared to what they were back then. And how these guys are always back there playing video games and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
They're not out partying and banging ring rats and whatnot. And I think it's horrible. Because he's an excellent wrestler.
Yes.
But...
That's why you got to get rid of it. I think he's getting rid of it, man. I feel it. I feel that he's fixing to... Neville is fixing to turn him into a full-blown heel. And that's going to be great.
Okay, well,
even though he's using him now, he'll turn him into a heel and then they'll rival after Neville drops the belt.
What if TJP's using him?
Oh, then that'd be great.
Because here's the thing, like, you look at how he is, like, when he laid out Austin Aries on Raw, and he stepped over and, like, holstered the guns right over. That was cool. And he's got the dad. No one in America likes the dad. It's horrible. But if you're a cocky heel, it fits.
Yeah.
And he's got to change his promos up because he said, like, Mon Cheri or some shit in French on 205 Live, and I'm like, God, don't ever say that again. But he needs, like, the Dolph Ziggler attitude.
Oh, yeah.
But with all these flashy hand signs and almost like the hipster that's popular that no one likes.
Yeah.
And it kind of fits him. I mean, like the dad, the holster thing. He's got all the makings of a heel. He's got to change that music and his outfit, though.
Yeah.
Maybe he should just come back as Suicide.
That'd be great.
Yeah, well, it's never going to happen. But I really like the idea of him being a heel. It's almost like Seth Rollins. It's something I don't like Seth Rollins as a face. I like him as a heel. I don't like T.J. Perkins as a face. I want him heel.
I think it makes a good heel.
But it's something he's really going to have to work on, and it's something that 205 really needs, heels. They don't have enough of them. Because Noam Dar is kind of like on the wayside now.
Even though that was awesome. Because you knew what was about to happen.
Yeah, well, it's classic.
I was like, that is going to blow up in her face.
Yeah. And you can see where it's going to. Like, she's going to be with Rich Swann.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm tired of that. Let's finish with this TJP thing real quick.
Yeah.
Because at the time when all this started, the only heel you had was Kendrick.
Yep.
Brian Kendrick. And then Neville came around, and you had Noam Dar, but Noam Dar is not a good heel. It's almost like comic relief in a sense.
Who's the other guy? I really like him, but they don't ever let him win. He's a heel. The guy from Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
Where's Tony Nese at? Speaking of,
you know what's funny? Before WrestleMania, they did Nese like 4 times in a row,
and then I was gone.
I wonder where he's at. I wonder if he got hurt or something.
Maybe he's doing some independent stuff because I think a lot of these guys still going to do some stuff outside of WWE because the Hardys did it the other day.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I read that right. Like, I don't read the article, I just read the headline. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So maybe that's what he's doing. But, I really like Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
I mean, he's working on a character right now, and if it works out for him, awesome.
They showed him on the phone on...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are they doing?
And then Tony Nese really had a good heel thing going on.
He is a great heel.
He is. He's a great wrestler.
I remember when he first called out, I thought they was going to jam him down and throw with the face. And I was like, no, he's a heel. It's great.
Yeah. He's got that Chris Masters attitude, like, I have the perfect physique, and I'm all about it.
Yep.
But TJP, after some work, I think he's going to be a good heel.
Yep.
He's really good in the ring. But I think he needs to use that against Neville. The thing is, I don't want him to be champion.
Yeah.
But back to him and Gallagher. They had a really good match. And if he works on his heel, I think you've got a really good rivalry because not only do their styles clash, their demeanors clash. Like, you've got the dab versus the, gentleman peace sign wave thing, And I think that not only does, they clash on multiple levels, and I think it makes for a good rivalry. They had a hell of a match.
And they showboat in 2 different ways.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. I mean, they showboat, and it's a
one I'm going to do it flashy and make you look dumb, and the other one's like, I want to outsmart you and make you look dumb.
Yeah, that's right. Like when he went for the pendulum kick, and he pulled the ring apron up and threw it on top of him, and gave him a hell of a headbutt. And then the best spot in that match is the back suplex off the top rope.
God, that's insane.
Man, the TJP folded up like an accordion. I didn't think he was going to move. Because he literally landed on the top part of his shoulders and his neck. And all his weight just come right down on top of him. And I was going to replay it, and I'm like, no, they're going to play a replay of that. Because it was pretty devastating. I've not seen a suplex come off the ropes that hard in a pretty long time.
They should let him Mary Poppins off the ropes with an elbow drop. The umbrella. Sorry.
You know about that? If they can find some way that he could jump and they can make him just like suspended in the air, like real slowly.
Dude, at WrestleMania, they should let him run and jump and have a cord, but it's because it's dark and you can't see. Make it look like he flies all the way down with that umbrella.
Very Shawn Michaels like. so maybe 12. But
well, it's more like a straight shot instead of a falling down.
But man, they wouldn't let anybody do that anymore.
No, he'll die.
Not after their own heart.
But
that would be a great idea, though. That would be an awesome idea. But with that, and at the end, he went out there with Neville at the end of the match. TJP did, and I honestly thought he was going to turn on him right there, and they were going to make it short-lived. But if they're going to make it as a duo, I don't care for that.
Maybe you're right on that kind of. He is going to go heel, but he's going to act like he's going to join Neville, and he's going to backstab him.
Well, there on Raw, he had that he looked at Neville and he was looking at Aries.
He could totally go with you opened the door, and now I found out I'm the true king. Some shit like that.
Yeah, but the thing, man, I don't want him to have the title.
Don't not get the belt. Neville's going to lose the belt because of him, and then they're going to feud.
Yeah, maybe he screws him over against Austin Aries.
Yep, and that opens up Austin Aries to fight some other heel that they're trying to develop.
Okay, well, that was my next question. Okay, it's inevitable Austin Aries is going to take the title.
Yeah.
They're going to give it to him. Who's his next top opponent? Because really, they're not building anybody else up.
Maybe that's why they're having him kind of Neath in a couple weeks, because he's going to come back to fight him.
That's probably true.
And he's similar to Neville, so they can have a similar title match.
But they were just kind of fighting each other before the.
I'd love to let Gulak go up and fight him, but I don't know if they'll do that.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. I mean, now they're not. Aries don't need to be built up. He's Austin Aries.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, really, they're not building anybody else up for to hold the title.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's something they really need to start thinking about before Aries takes it. Because Aries is going to take it, and then Neville will have his rematch. So, maybe with Kalisto coming to Raw now, maybe that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Because eventually he's going to hold that title. He's going to.
Yeah, he can do that. He doesn't do good in cruiserweights.
Yeah, it's his style.
Yeah.
And finally, you'll get that luchador style down there that you'll have on a constant basis. And I think that's what's really going to be good for 205 now that he's over, because you got Tozawa with the Japanese style, you've got your British style with Jack.
I would love to see Tozawa move up fight at AWL.
Yeah. And then you've got TJP with his very submission style. You've got Kendricks with an orthodox style. You've got Mustafa Ali with a high flying style.
They couldn't do him.
I think he'll be the guy that takes the title from Austin Aries. I really do. Like I said, you have Kalisto with your luchador style, and 205 Live, honestly, if they clash styles really well, it might wind up being the best show of all 4 shows.
It's got so much momentum right now. And I remember when it started, everybody was dogging it. I was like, I don't know what y'all dogging. It's great wrestling. It just don't have any.
It just needed time.
And now all of a sudden, it's boom. They're starting to stick stuff to it.
It's a 1 hour show like NXT. Do you make it 2 hours? Or do you leave it in 1?
I think you got to do the NXT. I think NXT goes to 2 first, and they keep working on it until they get more established characters that can actually wrestle and mic skill and promo and all that stuff before you go to 2.
I agree.
Because they got some great wrestlers, like Cedric was awesome, and then you come over here and what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I mean,
he had 1 great match, and he came over here and really, I don't know, man, just.
You say that, and I just thought about something. You think that is like the curse of Alicia Fox?
Maybe.
Alicia Fox. Because think about it, man.
Everybody got with
okay. Cedric's fought in the Cruiserweight Classic, and man, huge pop when he lost to Kota Ibushi. Oh God, come on now.
We ain't even gaming.
God damn. Sorry. Man, you lose my train of thought. Okay, so Cedric Alexander, he's in the Cruiserweight Classic. Huge pop when he loses. Triple H comes out and gives the fans everything they want. He's in Ring of Honor. He was amazing.
Yeah.
So they pair him up with Alicia Fox, and they do the whole Noam Dar thing. Noam Dar gets her. Cedric goes bye-bye. Now you're seeing less of Noam Dar now that he's with her.
Yeah.
And Rich Swann is taking a back seat since he's really lost the title. And then you already know that he's going to get set up with her. And I bet after that, Noam Dar goes bye-bye. Okay, well, the Rich Swann is bound to go on the wayside of the same thing. It's almost like she's a curse.
Yep.
And here's the thing, like, really, besides what Noam Dar's got going on with that, what are you going to do with him afterwards?
I don't know. Rick Swan's got extraordinary talent.
Got a lot of charisma.
And I think if they did a tag team division, which they need to do this, Cedric and Rick Swan would be amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Which, man, the whole thing
And then you could take Noam Dar and you compare him up with Drew Gulak.
Well, no, Drew Gulak and Tony Nese need to be.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that during the
cool.
Dusty Rhodes Classic, how they did that. Which won't be too long before we have that coming up again. But it seems like she's cursed. Like she's cursing every guy she steps with. And it's kind of sad because, man, Cedric's a hell of a wrestler. Noam Dar's a really good wrestler.
Yeah,
and so is
they're all good wrestlers down there.
And that's the thing. I mean, okay, you build that up with Noam Dar, Rich Swann. Noam Dar goes away. What are you going to do with Rich Swann? I mean, who's going to want Alicia Fox?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not building that up with anybody.
I don't know.
So, okay, so since we're on the topic, Cedric Alexander, what they do with him when he comes back? Because honestly, I think he should hold the title.
Maybe he's the guy that they come in and he's heel.
Maybe he beats Austin Aries.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he comes in and he's actually heel and he beats Austin Aries.
I don't think you bring him this heel. I think they need a good face versus face match.
It could be a face versus face.
Because you haven't, I don't think really you've had that yet so far for the title. Because TJP won it, then you had him versus Kendrick. You had Kendrick versus Swan, Swan versus Neville, Neville versus A-Double.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's about time you get a good face versus face match.
Yep.
And that way your fans are happy with who comes out. And I think Cedric Alexander has enough skills on the mic and he's great in the ring to carry that and beat Austin. And then where does Austin Aries go if he moves up?
Well, at that time...
I mean, he's on Raw. But, I mean, is he better off on Raw or is he better on SmackDown?
Well, at that time, if NXT goes to a 2-hour live show, could you move him there?
Would you move him back?
Well, I'm just saying, if they're a 2-hour live show and they want to be their own brand.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, would you move him back, though? Has he not outgrown that? Because think about it. Literally, if you think about everybody that was in NXT, when Austin Aries was there, they're almost all gone.
I guess you would have to put him on SmackDown. Because I think he's more familiar with a lot of people on there.
Well, it's true, but I mean, if you keep him on Raw, you can still use him for the Cruiserweight and you can do that. Everything else. Because, man, I think he'd make a really good Intercontinental Champion. Which, honestly, I think he's good enough to win any title there. I think eventually he will.
Yeah, so either one.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I hate that he's a cruiser.
As we say it all the time, he can do anything. He can hold anything.
He's the greatest man that's ever lived.
Oh, yeah.
Or the greatest man in the world, greatest man alive, whichever gimmick it is. But otherwise, for the whole week, WWE's pretty solid.
It's been good since WrestleMania.
When does it die off?
I don't know if it's going to die off. That's what's bad. If they keep pushing Braun on Raw, I will love it every week. SmackDown's going to be awesome every week. NXT is looking really good if they keep, they don't even have a match because Nakamura ain't there no more, and their champion on there, and they're still having 2 good shows in a row, and 205's taking off and running. I just feel like after the pay-per-view, I hope 205 don't keep it leak down.
Totally forgot about this.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to wrap this up, and we totally didn't talk about it. How about that finish with Aleister Black?
Oh yeah, it's the best finish of the week.
Oh man, the look on your face when we watch that.
There we go. Dude, we'll start doing this weekly. It's called Finish of the Week.
Oh yeah, we did that last week. We haven't done that. Which you got.
We kind of got like the finish of the show.
Well, we know what the finish was for both these shows, and it's that kick.
Oh, what's the name of that kick?
Black Mask.
Yeah, Black Mask. Bad. Oh, dude, it was so good. For those that watch, just turn it in. It's yeah.
Okay, well then, out of both shows, what's the match of the week?
It's Gallagher and TJP.
Really?
It was really good.
Man, I really liked Drew Gallows' match.
I like that match, but I love the other match because they're both, I don't know. I feel like it was really good.
It was. I both the matches, the opening and the.
But I can watch Aleister Black 10 times, and I watch it 10 times before I watch that match.
Would you watch him do that 10 times in a row before you watch any of those 3 matches?
Yes.
Because that was pretty interesting.
He has the baddest kicks in the world.
Okay. Since we're on that topic, who's his next opponent?
Well, like I said, I think they're going to feed him shit and build him up.
So you think they're going to just feed him jobbers?
Well, you need him. In my opinion, you don't like NXT. You'll be on there 1 week or 2 weeks in a row, and then take a couple off. I think Aleister Black, they're wanting to build him because he's so pop right now. Pop. New word made up. I think that if you feed him little guys like that, and he has, I don't know, 20-second match, a minute match, a 2-minute match. And then you start going every other week and he starts fighting better people.
Well, it's like we talked, it makes sense for him to beat Jimmy Jobber there because he just had a really good match with Cien Almos. And then, why am I fighting this guy? Bam!
It would be cool if they had a whole thing where he's in the ring and he does that. And he ain't talked yet. And he gets on the mic. They do this for a few weeks. And he's like, give me competition. And they send like 3 or 4 guys out in the road and he just bam, bam, start dropping people.
So very like Jason Statham knocking multiple guys out at one time.
Yeah, I mean, they just come in and bam, bam, and then eventually somebody big name will come out and it'll just be staring out and then the show will go off.
Okay, well, who's the big name that he stares down?
I really don't know. Who? Man, maybe it's your boy. We're just talking about him. McIntyre.
Yeah, I can see that.
Maybe they let him feud for not the belt for the first time.
But here's the thing, though. You've got all these big names now, and I think NXT's got more big names than they've ever had right now.
Yeah.
When do you start facing these guys off? When do you start thinning a herd like who's going to win the title? Because there's guys in there right now that you don't want to see lose.
Yeah.
And someone's going to have to.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And that's the thing, like, they were running this last year because
we was talking about it. Sanity comes out. I think Aleister Black versus Eric Young, and then he goes through all the stuff that the other guy did.
Roderick Strong did.
But instead of failing like them, they can't take down Aleister Black.
I like that.
It makes him look really badass. It's like, no matter what they do, they cannot get this man.
And
then back to the commentary.
And then you've got him, and then it's like, oh, the beast of oh my God, he just laid him out.
Yeah.
I like it. So,
maybe that's what they're going to do.
Maybe that's what they're going to do.
He'll go through 1 week, you can fight each one of them, and then the pay-per-view, you can fight Eric Young.
I can see that. And I think that would be a really good match. Even though Eric Young's, I'd say through his career, mostly he's known for being a jobber.
That'd be cool.
But he's a really good jobber.
Eric Young went to do his little, what do they call that?
His little wheelbarrow neck breaker.
And somehow he spins out of it, kicks him right in the face.
Lands on his feet.
Yeah.
Bang, kicks him back in the head on his back. I would love it. I would love it.
It's cool.
But this wraps up episode 3 of Angles and Promos on the Villains Demand. Like us on Facebook. Like us on Twitter. Like I said, we're about to start an Angles and Promos Twitter account so we can talk about wrestling as it happens on Raw and SmackDown. Make sure you're following this on YouTube. We're your hosts, Justin Von Doom, JVD.
And I'm Evan the Great.
Keep it between the ropes, guys.